now. For in the north, we have Agent AAA for Team Scott. And who do we have down in the south?
We've got Smilex for Team Nukem. Yeah, he would be Team Scott, so that's the only other alternative.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and since we are in Tiberian Dawn, why don't you introduce us to some of the differences between Red Alert and TD right here?
Alright, so considering TD's my main game, I think I'm well suited to do this. Tiberian Dawn focuses a lot more on early map control with infantry, and then supporting your movement with infantry. You have anti-infantry counters that are tanks, but they aren't the same strength that some of them were in OpenRA, in Red Alert. Another thing is that it's much faster. Like, the gameplay is a lot faster. Oh, we're getting some lag. So you have to be on the spot all the time, paying attention to the map. Radar is actually useful, and probably one of the big differences here is that if you power down, you cannot power down your turrets or whatever to save your butt. You have to build that power plant back. So it will take the minute or whatever it takes to build that power plant if you manage to curse yourself.
Okay, so that's going to be critical, making sure they're able to keep their power up. It looks like there was a little bit of early action. In the rules, you're actually allowed some light support, so Agent AAA was able to bring in a Nod bike right away to start doing some harassment, and he got taken down early. Looking in the middle, looks like there's a bunch of Visceroids just sort of hanging out in the middle.
Yeah, you don't want to bug the Visceroids. Yeah, they sort of just eat your units.
So they're basically Tiberian Dawn's equivalent of attack dogs.
Well, no, because they also eat buildings and tanks.
Oh, okay, so they're attack dogs, but they're worse, because they're big, hungry, Tiberium-infected thingies that eat people.
Well, in this one, they spray out, like the Chem Trooper, the Tiberium Trooper from Nod. You might see one of those thrown out by Agent AAA, but he tends to use flamethrowers instead. And in Tiberian Sun, they actually do eat things, as shown in Renegade.
Gotcha. At the moment, we have our first major contact right here in AAA, trying to push into the west side wall of Derrick's, and it's just going to get absolutely decimated right there. It looks like it was just all riflemen in the buggy taking stuff out, and that's going to send Agent running. He had thought about bringing a couple of NGs in to try to capture the old Derrick's, but he's thinking better of it. Now it's going to be bringing in he's going to start assembling his forces right here. He's looking to be doing flamethrowers and minigunners right now.
Yeah, another thing I forgot to mention is that base defenses are a huge amount more powerful in Tiberian Dawn than they are in Open Red Alert, making them really crucial if you want to defend your base.
Right. At the moment, both sides have thrown down a guard tower on their corners. Agent is actually throwing down 3 at the moment, as we get a little bit of a lag spike right here. That gives an opportunity to look and see these flame troopers try to come in, taking shots at the east side guard tower, but they're going to get wiped out. It's going to force Agent to spend a little money to repair right here. Agent going for a very early economic rush, getting 3 refineries going right away. And not a whole lot of stuff right there. In comparison, it looks like Smilex is only going for 2, but he set one of his refineries in the backfield, which I would imagine would make it a little more secure should there be a quick push from Agent right here.
Well, it depends. On this map, I wouldn't imagine that Agent would be able to sneak around, but having your refineries placed at the maybe I should mention this first. Good job to Ripley, who has his baby watching his first CNC match.
Yep, Ripley is our tournament administrator, and I imagine just recently had a kid, so congrats to him. Wonder what the kid's name is, but I don't know it right just this moment, but we'll see. In the meantime, it's pretty much just going to be a build fest from both sides. 4 refineries for Agent, and he's just going to be spamming out units like crazy. Meanwhile, Smilex has control over 2 out of the 3 West Oil derricks, and is also holding that particular section. It's going to be sending a lot of units up that way, only having 2 refineries right here. Something died.
Wow. Airstrike coming in for Smilex, taking out a couple flamethrowers and dealing damage to that power plant that Agent AAA owns. Smilex starting to move up. I'm guessing he thinks he can make the push.
Yeah, both teams have their communication centers going. A little bit of a lag spike there, but no harm, no foul. So looks like we're going to get another engagement right here as we get a major... That's a lot of flamethrowers. That's going to be a lot of explosions here in a minute. Here comes the counter push. Just a lot of dancing back and forth here on the west side.
At the moment, I would say that Agent AAA has a lot of potential because he has the mass econ going on for him, which is really nice. In Tiberian Dawn, things add another queue rather than just building faster with each one you build. So if you were to build 2 Hand of Nods, you'd be getting twice the build speed, which Agent AAA now takes advantage of this. But unfortunately, another thing that's really important in any RTS is getting out and, getting that map control, making sure that you can always be pressuring your opponent, which right now Smilex seems to be the only person with any map control other than at his own base. We'll see how this works out.
Yeah, right now he's just holding that west side, so I wonder what Agent's strategy is going to be. He's just built his second Hand Nod. This is a non-V-Nod matchup. So I just imagine Agent is just going to be building all of his forces up. He's going to send a couple of arty units down to the south. He's just ordered a 3rd one coming in. And here comes the sacrificial lamb for Agent. It's going to be poking around, looking, seeing if he can find anything right there. Let's take a look at his point of view. Sees nothing in the way of Smilex's units. He has no idea where these things are. He pretty much has no vision of the main base, short of a previous recon attempt with a few units hanging out early on. And
Apache coming in, trying to scope.
Yep, Apache's going to come in. He's just going to get a quick peek, sees most of the enemy forces, then he's just going to dump a few rounds into this, the Viceroy. Now looks like he's going to send his arty units to firing away, and here comes the push. He's not going to have any units in position. Apache's going to get a couple of shots in, and this one artillery unit is going to manage to get away just in the nick of time. But here comes the main push. This main force of Smilex is mostly composed of infantry with a few recon bites, a buggy, and a mobile SAM to take on that Apache. And looks like we're going to get our first major assault of the match.
Oh, ow. Smilex leaves his arty undefended. That's a... Oh. So
well, actually,
it has longer range than I thought it did. Okay there.
Yep, he was able. Yeah, it looks like he was going to get a free pick right there at the moment. And here comes the major counter push. He's just going to rush everything in. Here comes the airstrike. Oh, managed to get those moving just in the nick of time. And now let's let the bodies hit the floor. Everything's going to die in the middle. So here comes the lag. Looks like both players got the worst end of that one, and that's going to force Smilex to withdraw right here. He's going to leave the recon bikes behind to try to cause a little bit of damage to harassment. If he gets a chain reaction, he might get lucky here, but he's going to lose both those recon bikes. But he was able to get a couple of light tanks up at the oil derrick, so they're going to come in right here. take a couple of shots right here. If they get a chain reaction right here, this could be ugly. Look at the NG went down right there. Friendly fire.
Agent AAA is harassing his Econ with his 2 Apaches. Apaches in this are probably one of the best units in the game at the moment.
Yep, for sure. And that's going to call a response. He's going to Smilex is going to send his Apache in for mostly recon, and he's going to find no defenses whatsoever for his Apache. He's going to get a good look, but he's going to have to bring these things back as he's going to come under major assault right here. He's going to have to quickly reassemble his forces. He's going to be bringing in some light tanks, and a Mobile Sam takes out one Apache right there, almost gets the second one. And now we're going to see an exchange 2, an assault on Smilex's base. Here comes an airstrike right here for Agent, and he wipes out most of Smilex's forces right there.
That was really worth the 2-minute wait or whatever it is. He got, at least $5,000 worth of infantry and turret right there.
Yeah, for sure, right there. And this is where Smilex's build strategy is starting to let him down a little bit. He's only got the 4 refineries up, and I still see all 4 of his harvesters in action, but his forwardmost refinery is about to just get pounded right here. Battle exchange on the west side. Looks like Smilex is actually going to be able to hang on to this if he can look and see. He can't see where the arty is. I don't know why he's trying to push, but here comes the 2 Apaches. It's going to be a little bit of a micro fest right here. Smilex is just going to bring in his Apache to try to go for some air combat right there. He's going to finally see where this arty is, even though his refinery is almost dead.
It looks like Agent AAA is really trying to see if he can build up. I'm actually not sure what he's going for. I can't see the statistics, so I don't know how well he's spending his money, but his forces seem to be awfully low. Maybe it's just this infantry rush here cost him so much.
Yeah, for sure, but at the moment, Agent has 6 refineries compared to just the 4 for Smilex, and it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a switcheroo right here. Agent AAA is going to be able to push all of his units in on the west side as Smilex tried pushing east, and he's going to get the full harass going right here with a brief little lag spike. So I don't know if Smilex is going to have to commit all the way in or if he's going to try to back it up. But at the moment, he's just taking on this one Visceroid, and he's going to take out one of his tanks in the process. And it looks like Agent has got Smilex dead to rights right here. There's no defenses down south. He's going to lose his first power plant right there. Here comes the rest of the flame trooper. He's going to take out the communications tower. He's just going to lose everything right here. If he loses his Conyard right here, that's going to be game pretty much. There's absolutely nothing. Sam goes down. And it's just basically a rocket rush left right now. It's going to... Here comes Smilex back coming south, aborting his launch. Loses another hand of nod. Down goes one Apache in for Agent right there, but that's pretty much going to be most of Smilex's base right there wiped out. His economy is pretty much ruined. He just managed to rebuild a 4th refinery, so he's going to get some good economy going early on, but is it just too little too late at the moment, is what I'm wondering.
Looking at Agent AAA's econ, he should really be getting more production out at the moment. He's got a fair bit of money, and really it's just sitting there with only the production coming from these hands of nods and, the one airstrip. Airships don't use money too quickly. He's not really building anything at the helipad. It's just really the airship with a couple tanks and the hands of nod that are using his money.
Yeah, so it's just made it possible. He was looking to end the game right there. I mean, he just wasn't spending any money, but here comes another airstrike. That's going to wipe out most of the infantry at the second hand of nod. So could it just potentially be a case of we've gone, pretty much most of the day here today, and it's just a case of fatigue sort of wearing on Smilex here?
In the case of Smilex, I'm not sure how many games he's played. Smilex seems to be doing, oh wow, nice Apache rush there. And Smilex seems to be doing fairly well. There are a couple things that he could have done better. But I would say it's on Agent AAA, who has only played one game in this tournament so far, and yet he's still sticking with this fairly small production. He's building a huge, massive infantry, but he's not building a lot at the same time.
Right. It looked almost like he was counting on that last push to end the game right there, and it just opened up the opportunity for Smilex to recover, because there just wasn't any units to finish the job. But looking at Agent's base, there's a lot of infantry and a lot of flame tanks about to come down on the east side. There's just this one little light tank that's basically has barely any health. It's gonna get lit up, so he's gonna know that there's something amiss right here. It goes down, and the flame tanks withdraw, and they're gonna switch down to the middle. And now Agent is gonna send Chem Warriors.
Nuclear weapon launched.
Uh-oh, is that a nuke I hear?
Yep.
Yep, Agent.
So maybe that's what he was waiting for.
Yep, Agent was waiting on a nuke. He has a Temple of Nod set up in the very back of the base. So let's see where this nuke lands, because it's about to come down. And it's going to make a big bang. He sent it right after the top right Tiberium refinery is Smilex, and wiped out pretty much most of his harvesters in that one exchange. And he sends the Apaches back in, loses one on that one, and he's sending Chem Warriors across the Tiberium field. Now in Tiberium Dawn, the infantry can be hurt by the Tiberium field, but not the Chem Warriors.
Yeah, which means that they have that big advantage where even though they're slower to travel in the Tiberium, not only are they probably second only to the Commando, the most powerful infantry unit in the game. And I would say for their cost, they're better than the Commando.
Yeah, definitely. That Tiberium immunity is probably what makes the deal for them.
They can walk right through a Tiberium patch, hitting, their econ or whatever, wherever the opponent would least expect it. And then again, as I said, they're ridiculously powerful.
Yeah, for sure. And here comes another push from Agent. He's going to be pushing the east side. Going to be flame tanks and rocket soldiers like crazy. Down goes power plant. Pretty much most of Smilex's forces right there. And Smilex is going to call GG right here. Wait, the explosion. There goes the base. That's going to be another game for Team Scott right there. And I'd have to say, I think Economy won that one in the long run, because a lot of it was just getting these 4 refineries built in the south right away, was just able to allow Agent to get the resources needed to just keep going.
Yeah, economy is a big thing, but in bigger games, what you'll usually see is you'll see people with, even more so than in RA, I would say, is you'd have people with MCVs all over the place, or they're just taking one MCV, building, a couple towers and a refinery, and then moving on to the next field. Economy is a really big thing in this, and it's not only that you want the trucks, or harvesters, is that in this one, because the harvesters take so long, you want many refineries so that you reduce that delay of getting that cargo into your stores.
Right, since the harvester basically has to attach itself to the refinery in this game, whereas in RA it just, it sits in the parking spot, dumps the load, and away it goes.